What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my Tesla Model Y long range 7-seater after 10,000 miles. Alright guys, so after having this car for about 10 months and putting 10,000 miles on the car, I have some pros and cons. Obviously this is my first electric car, so I'm comparing it against itself. But yeah, I love this car. Overall, it's an amazing vehicle, and I'll go over my pros and cons with you guys right now. So I think one of the biggest pros that again, this is all my preference, but I would say one of the biggest pros is the acceleration this car has. It's unlike any other vehicle that I've ever driven, at least on the low end. So like from a stop going to like 60-70 miles an hour, this thing just takes off. It's really fun at stop signs or stoplights or getting on the freeway. You can kind of smoke any car, unless it's a Model Y Performance or a Model S Plaid or something else like that. So besides having massive acceleration, 0 to 60 whatnot in this car, I would say that I really enjoy the technology that's in the car. I realize you're buying a $40,000 battery and a $20,000 shell with some technology stuffed into it, but the infotainment center or the screen, having the games, also being able to heat and cool the car from my phone or set a preconditioned time for the car to be at a certain temperature before you leave the house. All that is amazing. Being able to lock and unlock the car without actually having to be at the car, doing it from the phone. And again, I know there's probably a lot of other cars out there that have the same technology, but for me this is the first one that I've had that does it, and I really enjoy that. So the sound system in this car, the audio is amazing. I've had like aftermarket audio systems installed in some of my previous cars, and this car really just comes out the gate with outstanding audio. I think there's 14 speakers and like 3 subwoofers, so yeah, this thing really bumps. The next pro I want to talk about is the price. Yes, I know that this car has only gone up in price, but for me or the people who have bought it prior, or if you have bought one now, the price I think is still going to keep going up. So since I bought the car has gone up $18,000. So it's very rare that you buy a vehicle and it's $20,000 more or in that area than when you had purchased it. I know because of the situation going on in the world right now, every car I think has gone up in price, especially used cars. But that just kind of gives you peace of mind that my investment was a good decision. The next pro would be being able to charge the car overnight at my house. I basically come home and just plug it in, and then starts charging like it knows what time to charge. So it starts charging like 1 o'clock in the morning and it's ready at 6 or 7 a.m. It just takes the hassle out of having to worry about going to a gas station or even going to a supercharger. I do want to thank you. There's 5 people that when they had a referral program used my referral, and we each got 1,000 free supercharging miles. So I still have like 3,500 supercharging miles that I haven't used yet. So if I do need to charge on a road trip or whatnot, I do have the ability to do so, and thanks to you people for hooking it up. For me, I like to accessorize my e-bikes or in this case my car. So another pro to me would be the amount of third-party manufacturers that are making accessories for all Tesla models, but this one is specifically the Model Y. It's really popular, so there's so many third-party brands out there. Out of all of them, I really like T-Parts. I don't have a link yet for them or anything, but I've bought a lot of their products out of pocket, my own money. And I'll get into that in another video. I'm going to make a 2022 Tesla Model Y 7-seater accessory, must-have accessories video. My 2021 video that I did, you guys, well, I'm not sure about you specifically, but it got over 105,000 views, so I really appreciate the support on that. But yeah, it's fun to make it. It's fun to make your car your own. But I like carbon fiber, so I got carbon fiber all over this car, and I'll get into that video. To me, another huge benefit of having a Tesla electric car over the other electric cars available on the market, and I do like the Mustang Mach-E, and I like the Ford Lightning truck that's coming out, but is the Tesla charging network. Being able to go on a road trip and not have to worry about it. You just type it into your screen and it basically just tells you where to go. we went to Arizona, my wife and I. She drove the gas-powered Toyota Tacoma truck. I drove this, and it was about 45 minutes to an hour difference. It took me a little bit longer. Obviously, I had to stop at the charger and sit a little longer. She was able to gas up and go. But, you know, when we took that trip, I was able to like walk around, stretch my legs, get some food. And so the 45 minutes that it took extra in the supercharger, it really wasn't that big of a deal to me personally. But I know that's a personal preference thing. Another huge benefit of driving this Tesla or a Tesla is this. The adaptive cruise control. We're like turning right now on the freeway going 74 miles an hour. And yes, I'm paying attention. My hands are here ready to take over at any time. But just the ability to put it on and let the car kind of take the drive for you. When I did that Arizona trip, I would say about 3 hours straight, I wasn't actually steering the car. It does have you do a little slight movement on the wheel or scroll the scroll wheel up or down. But yeah, other than that, the adaptive cruise control is amazing. So 2 more pros to talk about. One is, and this is definitely subjective depending on if you have kids or if it's in your budget, but I got the 7-seater instead of the 5, and being able to put my 8-year-old in the back. He has a USB-C charger, he has cup holders, he's got 2 seats to kind of like put his stuffed animals on and whatnot. It's really great to be able to put one kid in the far back, my daughter in the middle, and my wife and I up front. It just kind of keeps the kids mellow from, you know, messing with each other. And my last pro that I want to talk about is that this car is extremely fun to drive. And I'm not just saying that, like, this car is literally the most fun to drive out of any car I've ever driven. My wife, she wants it, obviously. I'll talk about that in a minute, but if the Cybertruck comes out, she may get lucky and get this car. But just driving, I'm assuming all Teslas, I haven't driven the Plaid, and I'm sure that's even more fun. But the fun factor when driving a Tesla, especially the Model Y for me, is 10 out of 10. Okay, let's get into some of the cons. I don't have a whole lot, but definitely one of the cons of this car, and I noticed it right away, is definitely going to be like the doors. I guess it would be like the fit and finish. But when you close the door on this car, it doesn't feel luxury. It kind of feels clunky. My mom drives a Jaguar F-Pace. When you close that door, it sounds like you're closing the door to a spaceship. It's like, it just sounds tight and clean. These doors, you either kind of have to, you know, hit them a little hard to close it, or you kind of have to bump it if it doesn't close all the way. I'm constantly having people get in and out of my car, and they have to open the door and close it one more time because, you know, normally you should just be able to kind of close the door and it closes. This one, you kind of have to push a little harder. Now, that could be specific to my particular build because I know everybody's got different build problems or not. So I may have to take that to the service center in the future. But that leads me to my next con, is the service center. The people are nice, but I went to go get the trailer hitch put on at my local Tesla dealership, and I paid the $1,400 the cost to get the hitch. I bring it in, I drop it off. They had it for 2 days. That's fine. They give you like $100 a day in Uber credits, which obviously is what it is. I wish that they would give you a rental car or you know, a loaner car. But anyways, I got the hitch put on, and as I'm driving home on the freeway, I noticed that I couldn't put my car into full self-driving. When I got back to the house, I couldn't use the auto park. So basically, they had forgot to put some sensors back or something. The next time they could schedule me back in was about a month later. And I pay for the full self-driving $200 a month. So basically, I was out for a month on the stuff that I pay for. Now, the way they resolved it was that they gave me a $200 credit for any future service center issues, which I will probably use over time, but it still was kind of like, that wasn't the nicest way to resolve the issue, but it is what it is, and I got the hitch and I got the problems fixed. Okay, my last 2 cons. One would be another thing I noticed kind of right away, and I do have the 19-inch Gemini rims, so I have like a little bit more meat on the tires than the 20 or 21-inch, but the suspension is pretty hard. It's pretty tough. You feel the bumps. That's something that you kind of have to just live with. I guess that's a subjective thing too. Some people may like a firmer suspension, but it's not like driving a more luxury car when you have like the luxury kind of suspension. So there's a place called Unplugged Performance. It's not sponsored or anything. Actually, I've never even talked to the guys there, but I've seen them. They have a really cool kit that Jeebs has on his, where he's able to like adjust, the suspension and whatnot. There in Los Angeles, so I think maybe in the future that might be something that I end up upgrading. And yeah, the last con would be if somebody messes with your car just because of the fact that it's a Tesla. I know that some people may not like Elon or the fact that he bought Twitter or any number of things, but to mess with somebody's car because of something like that, or just to mess with somebody's car in general, sucks. So luckily where I live, there's a ton of people that have Teslas, but the downside of that is that, yeah, your car doesn't stand out. You're not, cool. Everybody has a white Model Y right in Orange County driving around, so it is what it is. I didn't buy the car to be cool at all. I bought the car because I'm super into technology. I've always wanted a Tesla. I like all the bells and whistles that the car comes with, so it is what it is. But anyways, would I buy another electric car, specifically a Tesla, in the future? Absolutely. I've already put like the deposit down for a Cybertruck like a year ago. So with that comes out, definitely that's going to be my next car, and this would go passed on to the wife. Otherwise, yeah, I think that now that I've gone to an electric car and realized all the benefits that you get from the acceleration and just the fact that it's nicer on the planet, but that's also, some people say that building the batteries is not, so it is subjective. But I just love the way it is. It's quiet, it's fast, and in my opinion, it looks great. So anyways, that's my 10,000 mile review. I'll do another one at 50,000, probably in another year or so, a year and a half. But stay tuned for my 2022 Tesla Model Y accessories video. That is going to be pretty interesting. I've done quite a bit to this car inside and out, from little things to bigger things. But like I said, I'm still waiting on one last item, which is a yoke steering wheel. So once I get that, I can make that review. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate all of the support. You guys have always been super supportive of the channel. If you like electric stuff, bikes or e-bikes or electric cars, think about subscribing. Hit that like button if you guys made it to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.